All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the White Banana Podcast. And for tonight, we are very pleased to welcome our guest, Paulitical,
Oh, how are
from
we?
Scotland. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Very, very good yourself.
I'm good, good.
Yeah.
Of course, you have me, Polly, and Jimmy here.
Hello, guys.
Right now, we're staying at the very beautiful rooftop of White Banana. You get a very good view of the Makati background. But pardon us with the background music. I mean, the background noise. Well, we have the music later.
Yeah.
Pardon us with background noise. So, Political here is the head honcho of Still Distant Record.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
the one. Yep.
And banger of the duo Scottish Power.
Yeah.
But when we spoke earlier, you said that when you go alone, like when you play alone, you just go by the name of Political.
Yeah, so I work under two production names just now. I've actually got another few, but they're currently the only electronic ones. So Political is mostly industrial techno. So that spans all the way from EBM to techno, post-punk. I make a wide range of tracks. To be honest, it could be all the way from 120 BPM to 140 BPM. I've got EPs that are like acid techno. I've got some that are EBM, post-punk, and it depends how I feel in the mood. Depends how I feel that day. Some day I can be relaxed, and some days I can be quite.
You're
well,
originally from Scotland, right?
Yeah.
First time in the Philippines?
Yeah, first time in the Philippines.
All right. Well, we have a few questions for you since this is your first time in the Philippines and
Yeah,
you're playing in White Banana.
yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Are you more of a producer or a DJ?
More producer. I don't know. DJing's easy compared to production, to be honest. Like production's got that's probably like 95% of it, and then 5% is DJing. Like you can turn up pissed and still DJ at 4 a.m. in the morning. As production, you take a bit more step by step approach. You can probably act sober when you're doing that, so you would probably make sure you've got the energy, sober, good head on you, and before you
be
start.
sober and be focused on the
Yeah,
production side
yeah.
because you can't just do it.
Yeah.
You know.
As you're DJing, keep to the party. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in the party.
And you go by Political when you produce?
Both, to be honest. Scottish Power is also the duo. So Political, as I said earlier, is like techno industrial.
Okay.
Got quite a lot of EPs out. But Scottish Power is a duo as well with my friend back home. So that's who I run the Still Distant Records label with. So the record label is between the two of us. We're both from Glasgow, so it's shared between us. We've had two EPs out. One was on a label from Manchester in England, and the other was on our own, which was on vinyl. So that was out in the summer, and we sold like 150 copies of the vinyl.
Oh, it
So-
was with the vinyl.
Yeah. So probably I think I cancelled pretty much when I was away. I do the distribution.
Is it exclusively on vinyl or? Is it
You
also
can buy it
available
on
digital?
digital as well. So if you're listening, go buy it.
The duo you have, what's his name?
That's Scottish Power.
No,
So he's also got another. He's also got another production named Newtown Ground, but his name is Stephen. So we run the label together. Yeah, Stephen.
So you both produce.
Yeah, both produce.
So
Yeah.
when you produce a track, for the duo,
Yeah.
is it more the production, your production, or
Yeah,
his
mostly our production, so it's probably shared with the production. So probably a best way to describe it is how you can imagine two crazy Scottish people
Mhm.
on their day off on a Saturday, drink lots and lots of wine
Yeah.
and drink lots and lots of beer and vodka a lot and but a few hours into this, just on synthesizers, drum machines, just go crazy, and like some of it sounds like metal and some of it sounds like techno. We both like quite similar music taste, so so it kind of a good collection, and it's mostly synth with drum machines
So
and
it's like-
vocals.
Like just a jam.
Yeah, just a jam, and basically the best way to describe it is probably I would say Political's more hands-on. I would do it, sit and do a track bit by bit and be more focused and drop it out and all that. As so like Scottish Power, I would probably say is more like it's a bit more recorded on the spot. Do you know what I mean? It's improvised. So it's, like say we would just record on a production screen on Ableton, that would last an hour, and we maybe get 2 or 3 tracks out of that, and then master them and maybe add bits after that. But the bulk of the track would be there from the jam of drinking lots of wine.
And this all happens inside a distant, the still distant studio, or?
Stephen Newtown Ground, the other part of the label and Scottish Power, he has a studio. We call it the Shed.
The Shed.
Yeah, the Shed. It's got a nice nickname. So it's basically a music room that we have lots of fun in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so even sometimes you can sit there too.
So the label,
yeah,
still distant. It's just yours, right? Entirely yours.
No, so it's shared between us both. But I would probably say I would manage. So
when did it founded?
So Still Distant Records was found just as COVID came out, so I would say about early 2020. So we're probably like getting into the 4th year, I would say.
It's in its baby stage right now.
Yeah, probably baby. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, when you've got, you get some electronic labels that are like 10 year running and stuff like that now. But 3 years, yeah, probably still a minor. I think we can call it. Yeah, we're going to school soon.
Well, that's nice. Well, congratulations
Yeah,
on the
thank you.
label. But for DJing, how long have you been DJing?
So
how did you start
been
DJing?
DJing since probably about 8 or 9 years now, maybe 10. Close to 10 years is possible. So I've pretty much DJing. I could play keyboard at school and a few things like that. A few other things. I'd recorded production like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, but nothing came out and released. But DJing, I started that. I got myself one of the controllers. You know, everyone
starts with that.
Yeah. So I got one of them, and then with the laptop, my older brother, he was a trance DJ in Glasgow, so I kind of seen him do that with various vinyls and whatnot. So he was already into that, and I kind of maybe stole some of the music from him that started mixing. And then I was friends with a lot of people who were also DJs. But my music always hasn't been electronic. I'm probably growing up, I was into rock, metal, post-punk. So probably more the techno I like is like more related to that rather than trance and stuff. But I still liked it. Still had a dabble in it. But
because you got heavily influenced by your brother. Your brother. I would assume your brother would be the main force, driving force.
Not necessarily. No. More maybe just the trance is too bright for me. I like the dark music, you know. So that
sets you apart. Right?
Yeah, that sets me apart. But not to say I didn't steal some of the music to maybe try learn how to mix and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? To be honest, I don't dislike trance. I like to listen to it some now and again. I like it sometimes through a mix.
One parenthesis, you're from Glasgow.
Yeah, from Glasgow, yeah.
Rangers or Celtics?
Celtic, obviously.
Okay.
Paolo De Canio.
I had to ask an Italian.
Yeah.
But anyway, the podcast is brought to you by Jägermeister. So you know the drill. Whenever we do interviews with,
we do the first shot.
Yeah, we do shots
with our minus 18 degrees machine, which now is unplugged. Actually,
it's a super cold shot.
Sounds like my kind of interview.
Thank you, Jägermeister.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jägermeister. What is cheers and Philip?
Apai? Oh no,
Agay. Wow, ice cold. I love it.
That was good. All right. Well, aside from techno and you dealt with a bit of the trance music.
Yeah.
What other genres that you like? Not specifically that you play.
Yeah.
Let's say for like guilty pleasures. What do you listen to? Some other genres.
I've got quite a lot of guilty pleasures and things like that. I love 80s music, and I like in the UK there's a big kind of scene of happy hardcore music. In the west of Scotland we call it like kind of young team music. Young team music. So we get a lot of this in the west of Scotland, and like as a teenager this music was very, very popular. So it was like we used to make it on like computers, so it would be like computer DJs like Acid Pro, program that. So basically, they would steal samples, and then it would be like maybe 150 BPM, 160 BPM happy hardcore, and put their own vocals on that. So you can imagine like Scottish people, it's difficult to understand over a track. So it's like yeah. I made one years ago, but I never could find it.
First time in the Philippines and first time playing in White Banana
Yeah,
here in Manila.
yeah.
So I would assume it's a very unfamiliar
Yeah,
territory.
yeah.
Now, with that, how do you go about like researching an unfamiliar venue before performing?
Oh, so I think probably the best thing to look at is social media. That's always the best thing, and then past events on that, like photos, events, what they've had going on. But my friend Jimmy here, he said he wanted more in a techno sort of underground night. So let's test the water and see how we go on.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
People like dancing to natural techno here in Manila.
Mhm.
It's not a big crowd, but we have.
You have
we are building it.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll find it, even in the cities that don't have it as much. I'm sure there'll be some pocket somewhere that will have it, some sort.
And what do you use mainly when DJing? Like, are you a pioneer DJ? Do you use other instruments? Do you go live?
So a lot of when I was doing the Scottish Power stuff, it was a live performance. We've never had a DJ set, so we maybe played about 7-8 times in Glasgow, in various venues. Actually, some was more like warming up for like a band rather than a DJ. So the Scottish Power stuff was synthesizers. We actually
analog.
Yeah. So we even brought out guitars and stuff like that as well.
Nice.
So,
I would love to see that.
Nice. Yeah.
So it was basically 10 genres on 1 hour.
But that could cause like unexpected like glitches when you're using a lot of instruments and gadgets and all that and MIDI.
Yeah.
Do you have any worse experience, with
Usually
glitches with?
So usually the preparation is the worst, and then when you feel like you're having a sound check, you don't have much of a sound check. So I like to think on the spot, and then usually I usually just turn something right up.
Right.
Because I think when I'm making that sort of industrial noise sort of music,
you can always improvise with
and it's not meant to be like, so see, even if it is a bit loud, as long as it fucking sounds good, that's all that matters, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Since you've been traveling around the globe, I would say you've been with other artists.
Yeah.
With different culture.
Yeah.
Can you describe your experience working with other DJs? If you have like special experiences with other DJs. Or probably a worse experience you had.
Probably, I would say good experiences. I think when not around the globe. I'm going to refer to Glasgow again. But usually we had like after parties that were like after the club in warehouses. So it was like illegal warehouses in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Because the clubs were only open to 3-4 a.m. and in the warehouse you usually could go back to back DJ set with whoever you had booked on the night. So when you run the promotion, you can go back there and just have lots of fun for hours on end with the DJ you booked. So that was always pretty cool. When I've been away just now, I came from Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh and then here. So this is the third place on the map. So the two promoters there were very friendly and
because you are in tour now.
Yeah. So very on
You're
tour
in your
now, so-
Asian tour.
Yeah, so everyone's been very welcoming and people have been friendly when you've been playing. They've been coming up and asking, and here you are. So yeah,
That's
nice.
That's nice. With new DJs, so you've been DJing a lot for a while, but these days there's a lot of new breed of DJs.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the best skill for a new DJ to hone?
The main thing I think is not sticking to the trends, and if what you are really into, if it's not the trend, then I think you should go with your instincts and go with your taste rather than setting yourself on a trend and becoming what we call a scenester.
Yeah.
I think it's probably important to stick to who's you, what your interests are, and not doing that. And I would like to think that I've always done that. The music might annoy some people. It might not be what's in hot right now in Europe, for example. But it's close to my heart. It's closer to the heart than what is the trend is, and going back and forth. A trend will die in 2 years, but if you stick to what you like and don't just do it because it's hot just now, it'll have its rewards, you know.
Build your identity according what you are,
what you are.
feel.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't last.
Yeah, that's that.
Just be yourself.
Yeah,
And follow the passion
yeah.
you choose.
And that's what I like to
Sometimes
do.
money would meddle with that, you know.
Yeah.
Popularity.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of DJs who went to the top and just
That's that.
crashed their
Yeah,
careers.
It happens all the time with all these, like all the EDM DJs as well. A lot of these people probably came from being house DJs or like dub techno DJs and stuff like that. I've seen a few names recently on lineups, and I'm like, well, why are you on there? Yeah.
So after Manila, Philippines, because you're on a tour.
Yeah. So this is the halfway mark.
Yeah. This is the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the tour. Where's the next stop?
Yeah. So after that, there is in Japan.
So you started in Bangkok.
Started in Bangkok, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
And the Villa Project.
One place and one place, or more?
No, they two places.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm now in Manila, and then I have 3 in Japan.
3 in Japan.
Yeah, 2 in Tokyo, and then 1 in Osaka.
Tokyo
So
and
there is a lot of publicity on the media and stuff like that for the ones in.
So it's a DJ experience, but also a food experience.
Yeah,
Too.
food,
I mean,
yeah.
Thailand,
Exactly.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
Philippines, Japan. Wow.
Yeah, the best.
You're gonna come back a little bit heavier. When you go.
I'm so lucky you made the stop in the Philippines and made the midway of the tour.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one.
Yeah.
And how many layers do you have on your tracks when you're producing? I can only imagine because you're using multiple instrument. I can only imagine the way
Do you mean on Ableton or the actual track, like the actual how many synths?
No, the on Ableton, the production.
I usually can have about between 50 and 60 channels.
60?
Yeah. Of
Wow.
different effects and atmospheres and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a lot.
I would say over the years, it's got more and more. Like I felt like I thought at first like 10 was a lot, and then like you could actually like this has got a lot to it. But now I'm like we glitches here and there. And I'm training my ears even more. I would probably say I'm still learning a lot.
There's never enough for you.
There's never enough. There's never enough. So I want to keep going, and I want to be at the point where everything's perfect.
Running to 69 tries,
Yeah.
69 lines on the
I'm
production.
going to aim for 70 next year.
Can you listen to minimal?
Yeah. There's probably there's a lot to minimal techno as well.
Because I could imagine, like, say for you to listen to a minimal, your brain would just like go berserk. I want to put something on this one.
Yeah.
Something on this one.
I mean, some minimal tracks could be under 10 sort of channels, I think, but it's always about like you could probably have 4 drums at first, then into 8 drums, and then towards the end of the track you're dealing with like between 16 and 20 tracks, but you don't realise because there's something in that minimal track that's keeping you going.
Yeah.
But there's actually a change in drums and a change of scenery. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Are you something that I'm very interested in this period, and I'm asking to everyone? AI, the artificial intelligence. Are you using it for production?
No,
Still
that shit.
No.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Okay, so you don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think anyone could type anything into Google, and they would do it. I don't know. It's kind of cheating, I would say. I would like to think. I think the good producers good producers are the ones that are hands-on, do something from scratch, don't take any influence like from what is current at the time, and just put their whole body into what they're making, and like if they like it, that's what matters, and then hope in time that the listeners, when it's out, will listen to it and they like it, rather than aiming for a scene, they try and change the scene, you know.
So Well, thank you so much for gracing
Yeah.
the White Banana podcast.
Thanks for having us on.
Paulitical. And before we finish up or wrap up this podcast, you know the drill.
Yes.
Jägermeister.
Before I have a very interesting question for people in tour.
Yeah.
So you do a tour. Do you have groupies?
One, she's here.
Oh, the group is here.
It's groupie.
Perfect. Okay, that's always interesting. Well, another thing, we all passed through pandemic,
Yeah.
which changed the world partially.
Yeah.
How did you survive through that?
I actually was off work for 7 weeks, and it was fucking brilliant. I got paid 80% of my wage, and it was amazing to be off for 7-8 weeks. I made 2 EPs. I've got a dog as well, so I went walks, whatnot. I actually liked it.
Milman, you took it to do this.
But lucky for you, during the pandemic, you can go out in your country in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Like,
You can leave.
fucking luck.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Siargao, so my pandemic was one of the best time of my life. You know, I wake up, swim, take my boat, go out, listen to good underground music
Yeah.
on the boat, on the sunset.
What can I say? You guys are like,
Yeah, we're 2 years terrible for
Yeah.
business. But man, recording my live DJ set
Yeah.
at the beach by myself. Oh God, it was so nice. I cannot say I miss it because
Yeah.
there's a problem and people
Yeah.
died or got a problem.
well,
like
the
Yeah.
times are amazing right now. So,
Yeah.
well, that's it for us. Time to wrap up the White Banana podcast. But before we do, we would like to thank Jägermeisters for the shot. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Yes.
Paulitical, for gracing the podcast. See you on the next one. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.